Hey and welcome to today's video. My name is Julian. On this channel, it's all about making you crypto fit. That means we discuss the beautiful world around decentralization, blockchain, cryptocurrencies, a lot of Bitcoin. Today, we talk about altcoins and we discuss if we can see an alt season or an altcoin season 2020, especially the past couple of days look actually very promising. So it's probably going to be interesting to take a look and see how we're doing and how everything is working. And then kind of look into what's going to be the likely scenario for 2020 and what's been happening over the past couple of days. So what I want to do is let's look at some data and facts first, and then I'll give you my opinion. So let's do this first and we're going to dive right in. So let's share the screen here and actually look at some of the data. So the first data you can see here is Bitcoin dominance. And we gondoled with the Bitcoin dominance always a bit back and forth. Let me just zoom out a bit here. And you can see this here on the right. We gondoled back and forth all the way from close to 70% actually every once in a while. And then suddenly we had this massive drop down, where we had the Bitcoin dominance really going down. And so a lot of people then were saying, hey, alt season is starting. There is some caution to that. And obviously the reason we had this massive drop was because altcoins just took the significant run. And you can see this here when we go in here and let's look. I mean, these are the past 7 days, right? So that's CoinMarketCap. Past 7 days here, Bitcoin in the past 7 days closed 10%. Down, obviously, we have Bitcoin Cash, especially the Bitcoin forks, right? Been really running 36, 60% sometimes, right? We had Ethereum Classic, 65%, Dash, 74%, right? So these are insane numbers over, obviously, 7 days. And so, yeah, it's been quite a ride. Zcash here. Very strong. And so obviously a lot of people looking at this were like, hey, this is where, well, we had an alt season. Bitcoin dominance is down from close to like 69%, which is quite a significant drop actually. So yeah, massive down. And so what's the case here? But so there's a couple of things. So let's look at Bitcoin first. If you look at the Bitcoin chart, this is weekly, this is daily, we can see that this trend channel has been going on since basically June, July-ish, right? It's been broken now to the upside. And that's actually very bullish for Bitcoin. And the key is obviously for many altcoins, especially with those kind of gains, and we could go into literally any coin. I just picked up Bitcoin. Literally almost any altcoin kind of broke out of their trend channel. And this is also a big, like a very key thing that I want to give you. If your altcoin didn't pump massively in the past couple of days, and with massively, I really talk about more than Bitcoin. So if it didn't pump more than that, it should have pumped 10, 20%, right? If it didn't, man, this is a really bad sign for your altcoin. There needs to be a very good reason why it didn't pump. Because literally anything pumped, right? I mean, look at this, right? Everything kind of pumped. So if your altcoin did not really pump, then think about why did it not pump? Like to me, this is a really deadly sign for your altcoin. That's first of all, right? Key thing. So I would probably move out of this altcoin quite quick because if not last week, then when? I know you're always going to have an excuse when or why, but this is something that's very important in the entire aspect. Most of these altcoins now are out of the, and obviously forget Tether. Tether, it doesn't pump, right? Yeah, it's a stable coin. But so most of these altcoins are breaking out of their channel right now, of this negative channel. And most of these altcoins are now in a very positive channel. And so obviously this brings us to a very interesting question. And the interesting question here is, and that's actually a very interesting analysis, actually, over the first week, and this is over the first close to 3 weeks this year, right? And this is the first 3 weeks of this year, the large caps, the top coins, completely outperformed the mid and the small caps. And actually, and that's the really crazy one, and that's data. The smaller caps that normally tend to pump way more aggressively than the large caps completely didn't. They actually are still down. And that's a really key thing. They sometimes didn't pump at all. If you look at this here, very end, so we can zoom in if you want. At the very end, when we had this massive uptrend here, these smaller caps and mid caps, they didn't pump at all. And this is key to understand in what this data and actually means. this actually means that probably this was not an alt season. In a typical alt season, this completely inverts. You have small caps pumping harder than the mid caps, pumping smaller than the large caps, because most alt seasons, it means that there's so much positivity in the market that people are actually unhappy with the returns of Bitcoin and the large coins, and they want way more aggressive returns. So to me, actually, this is very, very bullish for most coins. I have to admit that, right? So anyone who says this is not bullish, I don't know how they can say that. It's very bullish. All the coins are out of their negative trend channels, which is good from a technical perspective. But the other thing is, this is definitely not a typical alt season. All this does, and we could discuss now where does this pump come from, and this is where it gets a bit iffy and tricky because we don't really have good facts. Now, we could say, okay, a lot of this pump came from a lot of lying on the BSV guys, and this kind of trickled over into all the other Bitcoin fork, and that's why Bitcoin Cash pumped so hard, and where all the other Bitcoin forks, Bitcoin Diamond, and Bitcoin Gold, and that's why these guys pumped so hard, right? But this kind of makes zero sense. Why would these coins pump just because these BSV guys lied out through their teeth, right? So we don't really know. And then another huge question is, why did some coins pump so super hard, where we need to understand what actually happened, right? So if we just look and we just scroll down and we could see Ethereum Classic. Now, I'm quite familiar with the entire crypto industry and I know really well what's happening. I've not met one person who could tell me why Ethereum Classic pumped so hard. Like, what was the news? What is the inherent thing that changed about Ethereum Classic over the past 3 days that kind of rectified that pump, right? So to me, that very, very key. Now, I can understand why Dash been pumping. Dash has been releasing a lot of positive news over the past 6 months, and it didn't react much. And so what can happen is, especially in situations like these coins that have been doing development, suddenly they kind of react in these moments, right? Before it's been kind of storing up, and then it suddenly kind of explodes. So these are just some key things. And that brings me to a bit of the pessimism. So what happened was very, very positive, and it kind of makes it positive for me that the altcoin holders, it's not going to be an immediate death. And I still believe that most altcoins are going to get worthless, right? Or they are worthless, but their price goes to zero to its worth. But it kind of gives me some hope for some altcoins. But what happened here, to me, it's very inexplicable on why suddenly there was this pump. And this always means to me that I get very, very careful when I see this, because this, to me, and also when you look suddenly in the past day, obviously we've seen a lot of negative kind of reactions back down. Dash has been kind of going back down again. So a lot of it obviously seems, yes, there was a very, very strong reaction, but now we're seeing the setbacks. And so to me, and that's obviously a very key thing in all this, it doesn't change my entire opinion about the year. My opinion around the year is that the larger coins are going to outperform the smaller coins. The larger coins are having all the attention. That's the first thing. The second thing, I think that newer altcoins, so altcoins that come in fresh without the baggage of existing all-time highs, without the baggage of bad communities, I think those newer coins are going to outperform the older coins. The same thing for those of you that were part of the community in 2015, 2016, you've been through this cycle before. A lot of coins got washed out that in 2013 got started, and then in 2016, 2017, nobody cared about anymore. So we're going to see the same cycle here again. And that's the other thing. While this is bullish for altcoins, I don't see an alt season in a sense that altcoins as a whole are outperforming Bitcoin now. What happened here is, to me, actually very normal. Suddenly there was this explosion, and Bitcoin, it's the hardest for Bitcoin to move because it sucks up so much volatility. I mean, don't forget, if all the altcoins disappeared, right, all of them, and all that existed was Bitcoin, Bitcoin would only move up 50% in price. So it would go from 9,000 to 13,000. That's it, right? So just think about it. That's meaning all the other altcoins disappear. So obviously it's the hardest for it to move up. So kind of put this into a bit perspective when it comes to all of that. So with this, it obviously bullish move. Let's see how substantiated it is. It wouldn't make me move my money away from the larger coins into the smaller coins. Actually, the data shows the exact opposite, and that you should be moving your money into the larger coins and away from the mid and small caps. And I think that's an important one, to not be on the wrong side of your investment. Look out for the newer projects. They don't have all the baggage. They have some chance to go up. I think that's also key. And yeah, with this, let me know what your opinion is. Do you think that now we see this massive alt season starting and we see massive influx? Yeah, I would be very curious to hear your opinion. If you like such videos, if you want to be updated on what's happening, give me a thumbs up on this video, and yeah, subscribe. On Twitter, click the like button, the heart, and follow me on Twitter. Facebook, same thing. On YouTube, just click the subscribe and the thumbs up. If you're listening to this by podcast, do me a favor, click the subscribe button, the follow button, and leave me a review. Really important. The same on LinkedIn, and I hope I'll see you at the next video. Thank you so much. Yours truly, Julian. Bye-bye.